Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to another video, my final video of 2024. Although technically, I guess by the time I post this video, it'll be 2025, so is it a 2024 video, or is it the first video of 2025? I'll let you guys figure that one out for yourselves. We are at Daytona, Milton, Keynes. As some of you know, I race in the British Pro Karting Endurance Championship. My team in the BPEC Championship decided to go out for an evening and just have some fun. So it's me, Ocean Beach, my team captain, there's a few other of us karters there, and then just random friends who don't do karting. So heading out onto circuit, essentially Ocean and I, we happened to be at the back of the practice session, so we were just trying to carve our way through the field. I ended up the inside of Ocean. Ocean, I thought, was going to be my main competitor for this race, and you can see him sending me up the inside, so we go for a little switch back. However, unfortunately for me, I then get boxed in behind this guy. So Ocean gets back past me. Now, Milton Keynes is one of the hardest circuits I've ever been to in terms of learning the track. It's not an inherently difficult track, but there are loads of little tips and tricks that you learn from doing sessions. And Ocean, and I think a few of the other guys, had never been here before, so I had a massive advantage over them. And to top everything off, the track was really, really greasy. And it was super slippery. It was really hard to find traction, but that was a good thing, because these SODI karts are awful, and the only way that they're drivable and fun is if it is wet and greasy. So if you want to try out the SODI karts at Daytona Milton Keynes, my best advice is to go when it's going to be raining or when it's cold and greasy in winter. If you're going when it's dry, try out the D-Maxes. The D-Maxes are absolutely amazing. But yeah, so this was just a little BPEC kind of get together, and I thought I'd just include what happened in the first couple of minutes of practice to set the scene for the first race. We've already got past Ocean, and then there's a spinner up ahead. We managed to get the kart stopped. We get through, and then from there I just pulled away from Ocean and started carving my way through the field. So that was practice. Now, the format that we had for the evening was this practice session, which was about 10 minutes or 5 minutes, something like that, followed by 2 10-minute heats, and then a 15 or maybe 20-minute final. So heading on into the race, the first heat was random grid positions, and I was starting in 4th place. The red lights are out, and away we go. You might be able to hear me talking in the background because I was doing some live commentary, and you'll get to hear the full live commentary for my second heat. But we get a great start round the outside of everyone through the opening corner, and then I'm just getting ready to go for a nice little switchback, which is exactly what I do. We're up to first. However, we weren't allowed to go and win because I'd been given instructions as this guy just hits me. But it's fine. I was like, it's chill, I'm quicker than everyone, I'll get past this guy. We had been given instructions, which was we weren't allowed to drive off into the distance. I had to back everyone up, and I then decided to squeeze this guy into the grass because I was like, that serves you right for putting me into the tyres. So I now had to go really, really slowly, and you can see how slowly I'm going. I'm trying to go super slowly at the apex and then get on the power, but when it's wet, it's really hard to drive defensively, because if you go defensively on the racing line, which is the outside line, you leave the inside open, and if you go on the inside, someone can just easily go around the outside of you. So I wasn't quite sure how to white line it in these conditions, but we're going to do our best. And the reason why we're white lining it is because it gives a really good opportunity for everyone else who started further down the field to catch up, and we just thought it'd be a bit of fun. It's what I got told to do, so I listened, and I decided to do it. However, this guy, Mr. Zach, hadn't heard the memo, and he sent me, so I then go for a switchback, and I'm going to hang it around the outside of this right-hander. And again, that's all I was doing. I could have gapped them if I wanted to, but I was trying my best to hold them up as much as possible. So now I'm on the outside, trying to go slowly on the outside, but he's able to just turn in earlier and get onto the power because I'm going so slowly. And at this point I thought, okay, well, I've got to overtake him, right? Because I can't white line it when I'm in second. So I couldn't send him into this chicane because there was a yellow flag out, and I then kind of messed up this corner. I didn't get onto the curb properly, and I lost a bit of time. So at this point I was thinking, okay, let's not bottle this and end up finishing this race in second. Let's get our head down and get past this guy. And I'm not close enough to go for a move into this right-hander, but we get to the outside line a little bit earlier than he does, so we get a slightly better run. But again, we are too far behind to be able to go for a move up the inside. So again, we go for that wide line, which I completely mess up because I've now figured out how to take that corner. Usually you want to go wide all the way through, but you actually want to go in the middle, and then midway through the corner you want to go to the outside of the circuit. I think I only learnt that by the finals or so. But anyway, we get a much better run than Zach. Do we go for a send up the inside? Yes, we do. We're going to slither up the inside, and we're going to pull off the overtake. And then from this point, I thought, okay, I need to show off just how much better I am than Zach. So we decided to get our heads down for a lap and just try to pull clear of him as he takes a tight line. There's a tiny bit of contact between us. And this is now the point where I'm able to essentially drive without, drive properly, without trying to slow down, without having to battle with people. And I think I have a little look over my shoulder here. You can see in the space of one corner just how much we've gapped him. It's absolutely ridiculous. We go full send through turn 1. Into turn 2, you want to point it to this apex, get it stopped, and then just try to open up the right hander as much as possible. We miss the apex, so that doesn't help, but you can see that we're still pulling a gap, despite losing about 3-4 tenths of a second in that corner. So again, heads down, there's yellow flags, so we're going to slow down a bit. We don't have to slow down a lot, but we still take this super wide line all the way through the corner because that's where the grip is. And you can see behind me, the gap is ridiculous. So on lap 4, I'd done that 1 minute 40, and then I decided, right, let's slow down, and this lap's a 1:49. So we went 9 seconds slower on this lap in an attempt to white line and bunch the field back up because I was getting bored, It was really lonely up at the front, and I thought, yeah, come on, we got to slow down. And here, I'm just trying to slow down just so I can park the car right in front of this guy and hold him up as much as possible, and maybe other people can catch up. But now we've got back markers as well, so I want to try to use the back markers as there is Zach. He's right behind me, so I'm going to back off here. Actually, I didn't do it. I was meant to back off when I had the back marker alongside me, so he had nowhere to go, but I forgot to do that. There's a yellow flag, so now I go really slowly, and you can see that I'm going super slowly, just so that he can't overtake me. And then as we go into this hairpin, the yellow flag's over, so now I've got to get on the power. So I'm trying to go slowly on the approach to the yellow flags, or at the start of the yellow flags, and then make sure I get a good exit. Through here again, I can't be too late on the power, otherwise he'll overtake me like he did a couple of laps ago. We got on the power a bit earlier, and now we go on to lap number 5. Again, this is another 1 minute 49. I was trying my hardest to bunch the pack up, and like 9 seconds a lap slower than what I could do. I think that's some serious Sergio Perez Abu Dhabi 2021 strats going on here. So if anyone complains that I wasn't white lining it hard enough, 9 seconds a lap, that is insanely slow, I think. Here's another yellow flag, and we're going to go really slowly. Like, we're not even catching up to the back markers under yellow flags. I genuinely don't think I could have done more than that, but it did make this fun, and it also meant it was quite stressful. This back marker goes the wrong way around the stricken carts, and again, I'm just constantly looking over my shoulder. In a normal race I wouldn't do this. I'm just doing it here because I know I'm quicker, and I'm just making sure that I'm slowing down in the right places so that I can hold on to my lead, because I didn't know how many laps were left in the race. There were so many penalties coming up on the DG board that I could never actually see the timer, so I didn't know how long was left, and as a result I had to be quite careful that if he did somehow get past me, I would be in a position to overtake him before the end of the lap, in case this was the last lap of the race. And as it turned out, this was actually the last lap of the race, but we've got a yellow flag, so we're going to go really slowly once again. But then as soon as we pass the stricken cart, we then get on the power, and there's only one corner remaining, although I didn't know that. I just thought it's the last corner of a lap. So I go for the long wide line, I get on the power, and with that we are going to win the first heat of the day. Let's be honest, it was in dominant fashion, definitely dominant fashion. And for race number 2, we have got a little treat, because as I mentioned before, I was doing a live commentary. So enjoy race number 2 with no post commentary and just me talking while I was racing, and I think it was pretty cool.
So here we go then, race number 2, heat 2. We're starting from pretty much dead last. We've got a couple of people behind us. For that is all, it's going to be absolute chaos, and yeah, we can send it into every single corner, but the issue is, if we send it into every corner, we might get taken out. We might get involved in something, so let's keep our eyes on the lights. I'm tempted to jump start it just for lols, but I'd rather not get a black flag, so let's get ready to do this. Hopefully the audio is fairly clear. Visor's down, we don't really care about that. We're going to have ours a little bit open. I can barely see anything through my visor anyway. And get ready to go. And away we go. Right, which way do we go? Right or left? We're going to push Joe along, so I know Joe is quick. This is going to be absolutely crazy. Right, we've got someone spun, so we're going to go this way. Joe's going that side. And we've got a yellow flag, so we need to be careful through here. And we're going to follow Joe through, try not to get taken out in the process. And there's so many incidents going on, but we've managed to get through. This guy's getting squeezed. We're going to go to the outside, send it late on the brakes. Joe's going for an early apex, like an absolute volley. And we've got a much better run. That's going to allow us to sweep past Joe. So we gain one position. We're going to go up the inside of this guy, straight to the outside, get on the power as early as possible. Joe is sending it, almost takes us out there. We're going to go up the inside of this guy, and then straight to the outside line. And we just got really unlucky with where all of the incidents were happening, and that we had two guys spinning in front of us. Right, full send into here. I don't know what this guy is doing. That was insane. We almost got killed there. We predicted the accident, but then we had people behind us being absolute melons. Nothing I could do about that. That was actually quite scary, not going to lie. Right, we're going to send this guy. There's a yellow flag, so we can't overtake here. Okay, we can overtake now. As soon as we saw him going, that's when I went for the move. I'm definitely the fastest person here, I'm pretty sure. So I don't really mind that we've had that incident on the opening lap. I just need to get my head down now. And you can see how much I'm catching into these corners. Oh, we've got to spin off ahead. Be very careful. Oh my god. This is chaos. We're going to send it on the outside here. And we've got the drive on the outside as well. Oh, but now we've got the inside into this corner. Right, I just need to get past Joe, and then we can go. He's trying to say, like, let's work together. But that is not happening because I know I'm quicker than Joe. To be fair, Joe is putting laps in, but I remember the previous race and I know I gapped him like crazy, so... Right. We're going to take the wider line through here, and yes, I got the power earlier. I'm going to catch Ocean, right? And then once I get past Ocean, then I'll defend. But for now, I need to get going because I'm a fair bit quicker than Joe. There's Ocean over there. Can we catch that? In the 5 or 7 minutes remaining this race, it's going to be a monumental task. Ocean definitely isn't white lining it. So we have to absolutely send it as hard as we can. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, we got Joe behind us, but I'm pretty sure I'm dragging him along here. If we can even get second in this race, that would be a pretty good accomplishment. Their tyres really help you keep the car on the circuit. Nice and light on the brakes. The rear end a little bit squirrely there. And yeah, we've gapped them. We have gapped them. Which is what I needed to do from the start. I don't know if it's better to take a tighter line through there or go for the wide line. We still got yellow flag. Ocean is absolutely sending it. He was Mr. Let's white line it. Only wants to white line it if it's advantageous to him. Yeah, we're catching Ocean hand over fist here. I don't know how long's left in the race because we keep getting these penalty black flags up on the board. I can see Ocean, he is not backing off, but neither are we, and we are going to catch him 100%, and we're going to absolutely rip into him after this race about how bad he is as a racing driver. Right, this is going to be big. Which way do we go? Don't go into the back of him. Get on the power earlier. We got a little thumbs up from him as well, as he says thank you for the push. And that guy centered up there. Right, this is Kieran. Because before we had Zach in front of us. Right, we're going to take the wide line. That means we got on the power earlier. Maybe this car is alright. I thought it was a bit of a dud before. I don't know how long's left in the race, but there's Ocean. We can taste him. That came out wrong. I can't taste him. I don't want to taste him. We'll go to the outside here. Ocean's going to be absolutely crapping himself when he sees that I'm right behind him in about 4 corners time. Okay, well, we managed to use the barriers and not spin. Right, it's just push from here. Go around this guy, up to this side. There's so much understeer, I can't get the initial bike to work. Hello Ocean! Hello Ocean! Yes, let's get him! We are hunting him. Right, where do I overtake this driver? So I'm going to catch him through this corner like crazy. So I'm either going to have to send it on the inside or the outside. Outside it is. He's gone. How we avoided that, I don't quite know. I think there's about 2 laps left in this race. And I'm running out of time very quickly. Oh man, 2 more laps and I would have had him. Mr. Ocean, I'm going to white line this race. Cheeky little sod.
So here we go then for the finals, and Ocean wasn't sounding very confident.
I'm sending it.
Whatever happens, happens. You don't drive away, please.
Okay. I won't let you. I'm gonna do one hot lap and then back off.
So, now that Ocean had shown me how scared he was of me in this race, I need to explain why I was starting in 5th. In the previous race I came 2nd, but I got a 1 lap penalty for speeding under yellows. Apparently, I was speeding under yellows. So we had to start a little bit further down, and to get us into the mood, Ocean decided that he'd start barking.
Who let the dogs?
So, with the barking completed, the red lights were on the board and we were ready to go racing. Ocean jumped the start and then decided to drive right into the side of me straight away. Fair enough, Ocean, but we're still ahead of him coming out of turn 1. Now, I was on a mission. I needed to get to the front and start white lining it, but then Ocean muscles his way past and this other guy puts me into the tyre barriers. Thankfully though, we haven't spun and we can get our heads down, and again, I wasn't worried because I was like 2 seconds a lap quicker than anyone else out on circuit. It was absolutely redonkulous. Now, I wasn't happy with this guy, so I wasn't going to give him any space, which is why I squeeze him right into the tyre barriers. You put me in the tyres, I'll put you in the tyres. That's just how it works, folks. So for anyone who wants to say I'm dirty, yes. Anyway, we've got people to catch up, and next on our list is Mr. Ocean Bates. But never mind, Ocean's just overtaken someone. He's trying desperately to get someone between him and me. This guy sends it way too hot into the corner. He gets a bad exit, so we are going to sneak our way past up the inside, which pulls us back into 4th place. Next up is Ocean, then it's Michael, and then it is Zach. So, again, nothing too stressful. Sure, everyone was improving as the day went on, but I knew I was a lot quicker than everyone else. So for now, we've just got to get our heads down and try to catch up to Ocean, because Zach's already got a big lead. So I'm kind of curious watching these two to see if they're going to gain. He's just extending the track like crazy. That is actually the faster way to go around the corner, but I'm used to Daytona Super Champs events where they will literally give you penalties for doing that. I forgot it was an open race and they weren't really being very strict with it for this particular event. But we've already caught up to... Actually, wait, that's not Ocean. Is that Ocean? I can't really see. Yes, it is Ocean. We're going to go up the inside of Ocean. We're going to give him, just a little reminder that we're the better driver. A taste of his own medicine from what he did on the opening lap. And then through here, I just go a little bit wide, but we're still far enough ahead of Ocean. Now, next up is Joe, but I go wide here, and it's the first ever time that I've gone wide there, and the car kind of just grinded out. So I lost a bit of time, which was unfortunate, but it's okay. We've still got plenty of time left in this race to catch and overtake everyone, and we get a much better run than Ocean through here. But Ocean's really early on the brakes. The guy just likes his brake pedal, I guess. He doesn't want to go fast, he wants to go slowly. So I'm just thinking, right, where am I going to overtake you? I'm thinking about going for a ascent into this corner, but it's really sketchy to do that in the way. He goes for a tight line, so I'm going to go for the late apex. We have a little bit of side-to-side contact, but Ocean's lighter than me by about 10 kilos, which is why he's able to just pull away from me in the straight. So Ocean's faster in the straight because he's lighter, but because I'm heavier, I'm a little bit quicker through the corners because it is greasy, I think, so it probably evens itself out. Ocean again taking that really wide line, which is much quicker, and again, I could have done it. It would have given me probably about half a second a lap, or at least 3/10, but again, I didn't want to completely take the piss, so I was just happy just doing my own thing. Ocean's braking into this corner like dude, come on, it's not that slow. Which is actually one of the cool things about these SODIs, because you can see the brake lights, you can see when other people are braking, and now Ocean and Joe are going to have a little battle. Sorry, it's not Michael who was in second, it is Mr. Joe himself. And Ocean gets a beautiful switchback coming out of the hairpin. So Ocean's up into second place, and I am looking to follow through. Joe goes a little bit too tight into the corner, so we get a really nice exit. We're going to overtake Joe, and now Ocean's trying to cover me off, so I'm going to let him go defensive, and I'm going to go to the outside, which means that Ocean is very slow. Ocean gets a little push, but we managed to go around the outside of them. We're through, we're up into second place, and now we just need to get our heads down as Ocean goes for the title line, but I get through, and I get spun. thanks for that, guys. So I've been put into a tyre barrier once. I had that weird kart grinding out, and now I got spun, but thankfully Ocean hit my front end and pointed me back into the right direction. All the while this is happening, Zach is pulling away at the front, and now I'm starting to think, okay, I really have to get on with this because I'm going to be quickly running out of laps. There's only so many times I can overtake someone to then get pushed down the field. So yeah, heads down again. We gain massively on Joe going through the hairpin, but there are yellow flags around, so it's kind of hard to figure out when it's the right point to get on the power and when isn't. Again, I take a slightly tighter line than Joe as he gets on the brakes. You can carry so much speed through turn 1, but you just have to be brave. And then there's a yellow flag, and I'm just thinking, I can't overtake this guy because it's a yellow, and I can't see where the green flag is. I can't see where the incident is. So I've now lost 5 seconds, and there's still a yellow flag. And at this point, I just think this is just taking the mick, Daytona, because there was no incident, and the yellow flag was out, and I just thought, to hell with it. So I've lost 5 seconds. 4 seconds? I think about 4 seconds because of that yellow flag, and the yellow flag was out for no incident. So yeah, this was just making it harder and harder, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I need to push like absolute crazy now. I don't care. I need to give it absolutely everything. Yellow flag, not bothered. We're going to fully send it round the outside. Again, no one's on circuit. All I was doing now was I was saying, I don't care if there's a yellow flag. If I see an incident, I'll slow down for it, or if I see a marshal on track, I'll slow down. If I see a yellow flag and I don't see an incident, I don't care. Which isn't really how you should approach a race, but I would like to say that I'm experienced enough, at least with these rental races, to actually see where there's an incident and know what is dangerous and not. If you're new to karting, do not do that. But now we catch up to this big group of cars. We've got to go up the inside, 1, 2, a little bit of contact, and we're going to go up the inside of this guy. There's a yellow flag. We were side by side going into the corner, and I kind of backed off to let him back through, but I don't know where he went, so I just decided, well, I just have to get on with it and keep on pushing. So yeah, this has not been a good lap as my microphone decided that it wants to fall on my face. And this is my fast lap of the race. So you can see how much speed we carried through turn 1. And now into turn 2, late on the brakes, pointed towards the apex, get it turned at the apex, and then open up this right as much as you can as we go all the way out to the edge of the circuit, and then into this left hairpin, late on the brakes, send it round the outside, just get on the power as early as possible. The weird thing with karting in the wet is, if you don't get on the power, you understand. If you do get on the power, it turns. It's weird, again, round the outside through this right-hander. You can pull it back in a bit tight later on, as we now have a back marker to overtake. Late on the brakes, get the front end in, and then send it round the outside. And that is where, when I realised that you want to take a tight line going into that corner, we're going to send this guy from so far back. But again, critically, we get to the outside of the circuit, which is where the grip is, get on the power, and we get a good exit. This was the fastest lap of the day, 39.7. I think the next quickest time was probably my 39.8 that I did in the previous race. Again, we're going to take a wide line through that hairpin. As I mentioned before in the live comms, I don't know if the wide line or the tight line was better. I'd only really know if I was using an Alfano or something. Again, through this corner, send it out nice and wide on the power, pull it back over to the left. You want to brake on the left, which is where the rubber is, but then you just send it around the outside. I'm not really taking the mick with the track limits. Again, I could be using that extra track if I really wanted to, but I was trying my best to do this race as cleanly as possible. So on to the next lap. We are still in 4th place, and we send it round through turn 1. Probably could have taken it a little bit quicker, and again point it towards the apex, and you can just see how much we're gaining in every braking zone, through every corner on the drivers ahead. Again, I kind of slowed down a bit too much for that left-hander. My minimum speed really dropped down. We're going to squeeze our way past. I saw the yellow flag, and I thought I can overtake it before I get to the yellow flag, which I do, and then take this nice wide line all the way through the right-hander. So again, now it's just kind of get our heads down. I'm not going to take any chances. I need to get past Joe as quickly as possible, and there I'm starting to take the right line, which is that tight line into the first part of the corner, and now I need to get past Joe, so nice and late on the brakes, straight to the outside of the circuit. However, Joe is going to get a really good switchback, and I'm stuck behind him. He's saying, let's go forward, and I'm thinking, absolutely not, because I'm way quicker than you. So I'm right on his bumper, and I'm going to go up the inside into the hairpin. I was pushing him along through the left, which caused him to go wide, but hey, if I can make the corner at that speed, then so should he. And we're doing the old bum down human DRS, because we are trying. We are trying. We're driving, as they say. Again, that super wide line, you run the risk of going on the grass, but you just have to take that risk. Karting in the wet is all about taking risks, and the more confident you are of racing on the limit, the faster you're going to go, and that's just how it is. This guy's taking a tight line, and we're just going to send it all the way around the outside of him, up onto the curb as well. And I'm trying to see where Ocean is. So Ocean is 2 karts ahead. We carry loads of speed through this corner, and now I've got a yellow flag, and I've got to sit behind this guy. Will I overtake him on the yellows? He makes the mistake, and I'm still kind of waiting. I'm tentatively... Nope, I actually don't overtake him. Joe then overtakes me, but he knows it's under a yellow, so he's going to slow down. And yeah, again, this must have been 2.5 seconds lost from this, and then there's another incident. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm making excuses, because as you can see, I can't really catch up to the people ahead because of these excuses. As we hit the tyre barriers again, we're just skimming it. If I was racing at Monaco, I would have broken my suspension about 10 times by now. But thankfully it's not Monaco, and these karts can skim along the tyre barriers, which normally I wouldn't do, and in the dry it would not be helpful, as we carry so much speed into that left hand. And you can see us just working the steering as we get on the brakes, just trying to slow the kart down as much as possible. And now there's a big yellow flag, and well, not a big yellow flag, but there's a big group of karts up ahead. And again, I need to try to get my head down to catch up to Ocean, because I've just been yo-yoing. I've been catching up to Ocean, yellow flag, catch up to Ocean, yellow flag, was stuck behind a back marker, and it was just a bit frustrating. I tried to see where Zach is. Zach is going through the final corner now. So Ocean was, I think, just about catching him, but not by a lot. And again, I didn't know how many laps were left. I knew it wasn't a lot. This guy's going to take a tight line, so I'm just going to send it around the outside so much faster. And again, we're just catching up to Ocean hand over fist, and you can really hear the kart just grinding on the curbs. That's actually bad for the cars. Usually when rental karting places say don't use the curbs, they're talking out of their backsides, use the curbs as much as you want. But there, I was using too much curbs, because you can hear what it's doing to the car. If you can't hear anything, if it's just a nice smooth hit on the curb, it won't do anything to the car. But then again, it's a rental karting place's rule, so whatever they say goes. Again, we take that tighter line into this corner, and we just catch up to Ocean so much. We had to back off a little bit because I didn't know what that back marker was going to do. And again, this nice wide line into the corner. To be fair, Ocean did get a really good exit coming out, but he hasn't really pulled from us in the process, and this is where we're going to be a lot quicker. Ocean has to go up the inside of this back marker. I'm going to catch him. I'm going to get a really good run, and now we've got a bunch of karts up ahead, and this was absolutely crazy. This was like Hakkinen and Schumacher at Spa. What are we going to do? Ocean's on the inside, I'm on the outside. We're going to overtake one. I've got to go around the outside of this guy. Ocean then ends up on the inside of the circuit. I'm going to go to the outside. Ocean now outbrakes himself. I get the run, and Ocean then spins me.
For fuck's sake, Ocean!
As you can hear, I was very pissed off with Ocean for that, because he just turned into my rear end and spun me around, and I was mad. I was like, right, I'm going to get you now. And then I saw the checkered flag, and yeah, I was not a happy bunny, but hey, it was a for fun race, so yeah, at the time I was pissed off, but then after the race, it's just all jokes and rants anyway. So yeah, I ended up finishing this race in 4th, which means that I am completely washed and just a bad driver. It's the first time that Ocean has beaten me in a race since about 2019. So congrats, Ocean. He didn't get a black flag for it, which is complete and utter BS, but it does technically mean that he beat me in this race, and I don't know how I can ever survive and live with the embarrassment. This is how my season, this is how 2024 has ended for me, losing to Ocean Beige. Depressing. But yeah, it was a good day. It was some good battles out on circuit, and yeah, I mean the pace was just electric. So hopefully I'll do a few more of these, and let me know down in the comments if you'd like the live commentary, because if you did enjoy the live commentary, I'll try to do a lot more of that in the future and do loads more races, because it's much easier for me to edit as well like that. But yeah, that's been this video. Thank you all for watching, and let me know down in the comments what kind of content you want to see in the future. But yeah, cheerios, toodles, and see you all next time as I give Ocean a little whack as a thank you for what he did in the race.